The hospital room smelled of antiseptic and quiet defeat. White walls, humming machines, and a window that refused to open. Maya sat in her wheelchair, her small hands gripping the armrests as if they could anchor her to the floor. Her legs lay still beneath a thin blanket, thinner than they used to be. She was too young to understand the words being spoken, but old enough to feel their weight. The doctor adjusted his glasses and spoke carefully, the way people do when they already know the ending. He explained damaged nerves, misfiring signals, and conditions so rare they barely had names. He spoke of therapies that might help and surgeries that could improve things, but his eyes gave him away. He wasn't hopeful, he was professional. Elena sat beside the bed, nodding too quickly, clutching her purse like a lifeline. Every sentence felt like a blow she refused to react to in public. She asked about timelines, recovery chances, and costs, her voice steady but thin. The numbers came out next, figures so large they sounded unreal. Years of treatment, no guarantees. Adam stood near the door, arms crossed, listening. He didn't interrupt, he watched his daughter instead. Maya's eyes drifted from the doctor's face to her own legs, as if waiting for them to respond on command. When they didn't, her lower lip trembled. Adam felt something tighten in his chest. So, she won't walk? Elena finally asked. The doctor paused. Silence stretched until it hurt. It's unlikely, he said softly. That word, unlikely, echoed in Adam's mind. Not never, not impossible, just unlikely. As the doctor left, Elena's composure shattered. She turned away, shoulders shaking, tears spilling freely now. Adam wheeled Maya closer and knelt in front of her, forcing a smile that felt too big for his face. Hey, he said gently, brushing her hair back. You hear me, this isn't the end. Maya looked at him, eyes wide and scared. Daddy, will I ever run again? Adam swallowed hard, then met her gaze without blinking. I don't know when, he said, voice firm despite the storm inside him, but I promise you this, we're not giving up. In that cold hospital room, with hope slipping through sterile fingers, a father made a vow no doctor could measure. The first private clinic looked more like a five-star hotel than a hospital. Marble floors, soft music, smiling receptionists who spoke in rehearsed compassion. Adam felt out of place in his worn jacket, Maya in her wheelchair rolling over polished stone. The doctor there spoke confidently, pointing at glowing screens filled with scans and graphs. He promised progress, possibilities, even used the word miracle. Adam signed papers with shaking hands. Weeks passed. Treatments came and went. Needles, wires, machines that buzzed and clicked. Maya endured everything without complaint, only asking once, is this helping, Daddy? Adam always answered yes, even when he wasn't sure. The bills arrived thicker than the progress. Eventually, the smiles faded, and the promises softened into excuses. They went to another clinic. Then another, each one more expensive, more certain, and just as powerless. Adam sold his car and took the bus to work. He sold his tools, the ones that had fed the family for years. One night, he removed his wedding ring and placed it on a pawnshop counter, turning away before regret could catch him. Nothing changed. At home, exhaustion filled every corner. Maya watched other children play from the window, pressing her palm against the glass. Elena tried to stay strong, but Adam heard her crying late at night, muffling her sobs into a pillow. He felt like he was failing them both. One evening, after lifting Maya into bed, Adam sat beside her and hummed an old tune his father used to sing. Without thinking, Maya's fingers began tapping softly against the blanket, keeping time. Adam stopped, then hummed again. Her fingers moved again. Steady, sure. Your body remembers, he whispered. That night, he pushed the couch against the wall and cleared the living room. No machines, no clinics, just open space. He knelt beside Maya, gently moving her legs, talking to them as if they could hear him. Wake up, he said quietly. You're still needed. Every night after work, no matter how tired he was, Adam sat on the floor with his daughter. He turned exercises into games, pain into laughter, and seconds of effort into victories. There were no guarantees, no experts watching, just a father refusing to believe that love had reached its limit. Progress didn't arrive like a miracle. It crept in quietly, almost afraid to be noticed. Some nights, Maya couldn't move at all. Her legs felt heavy, unresponsive, like they didn't belong to her. She would bite her lip and turn her face away so her father wouldn't see the tears. Adam always saw them. He would pause, wipe her cheeks with his sleeve, and say, "Bad days don't cancel good ones." Then they would start again, slower this time. Weeks turned into months. Adam learned every sign. When to push, when to stop, when to distract her with a silly story or a made-up adventure. He pretended the living room floor was a jungle, a pirate ship, a mountain trail. Maya laughed more than she cried now, even when her muscles burned. Each tiny movement became a celebration. A toe twitch, a knee lifting a fraction of an inch. Adam clapped like she'd won a medal. One evening, something changed. Maya stood holding the coffee table, her arms trembling, sweat on her forehead. Adam knelt in front of her, hands hovering inches away, afraid to touch, afraid to break the moment. Her legs shook violently, threatening to fold. "I can't," she whispered. "Yes, you can," he said softly. Just for 1 second, she closed her eyes. 1 second passed, then 2. Adam felt his throat tighten. "You're standing, Maya," he whispered, as if saying it too loudly would scare her legs back into silence. The door creaked behind them. Elena had come home early, grocery bags slipping from her hands as she froze in the doorway. She watched her daughter standing, unsteady, imperfect, real. Her breath hitched. Tears blurred her vision. She sank to her knees, pressing her fists to her mouth to keep from screaming. "Mom." Maya turned her head, wobbling. Elena sobbed openly now. "I see you, baby. I see you." Adam reached forward as Maya took her first step. Small, clumsy, heroic. Then another. Elena collapsed forward, crying into the floor, overwhelmed by a moment she had prayed for and stopped believing in all at once. It wasn't a miracle broadcast to the world. It was a quiet victory, born on a living room floor, witnessed by love alone. The doctors were confused. They studied Maya's scans again, whispering to one another in the hallway like they were standing before a riddle they couldn't solve. Words like spontaneous recovery and neural adaptation floated through the air. One specialist finally smiled and said, "This doesn't usually happen." Adam nodded politely. He didn't argue. He didn't explain. How could he explain nights spent on the floor, whispering hope into tired muscles? Rehabilitation followed. Real therapy now, guided but no longer hopeless. Maya walked slowly, sometimes with a limp, sometimes with fear, but always forward. Each step was earned. She fell. She stood back up. Adam was always there, not to catch her, but to remind her she could. The first day of school came quietly. Maya stood in the doorway, backpack too big for her shoulders, shoes tied too tight because Adam's hands were shaking. Elena watched. From the hall, already crying. When Maya took those steps out the door, alone, Elena broke down completely. She pressed her face into Adam's chest, sobbing the kind of tears that come from release, not pain. "You saved her," she whispered. Adam shook his head. "She saved herself. I just stayed. Life didn't turn perfect." Maya never ran as fast as the other children. Some days her legs hurt. Some days fear crept back in. But she walked into every room knowing she was stronger than her worst day. People later called Adam extraordinary. A hero. He hated the words. He was just a father who refused to let an unlikely define his child's future. Money couldn't fix Maya. Machines couldn't reach her. But love, patient, stubborn, unmeasured, taught her body to believe again. And that belief carried her forward, one brave step at a time.